Black Air Force Energy.
Hey, we're living in an era of free speech prohibition, and we're here at a speakeasy where we're doing the forbidden things, the verboten things. We're having two people have a civilized conversation, someone from the right and someone from the left. Now, I know people on the right are seeing these two people and going, oh, you have a sane person from our side and some lunatic. And the people on the left are saying, oh, you have a sane person from our side and some lunatic. They're both wrong. In both cases, we have human beings with valid things to say and a lot of things in common. I'm going to try to re-merge the country and have people have decent conversations again. But that's forbidden, so shh. Come on. Gentlemen, I see you're already been taken care of. I'll be your bartender for the duration of this hour. I want to start with discussing what you both have in common. And I think you both are for reparations. Is that true?
Are you tired?
Let's get it. This that go and get it. With no hesitation. This that never quit. Start that elevation. This that process. This that in the making. This that started from the bottom. This that motivation.
Bartender for the duration of this hour. I want to start with discussing what you both have in common. And I think you both are for reparations. Is that true?
Yes, in principle, as long as the money's spent in fairly specific ways, but yes.
Well, I think that's true, especially if we define what we mean by reparations, the truth of the past, keeping track of the suffering, humanizing both those who suffer as well as those who perpetuate the suffering, because to engage in suffering is a human thing. Domination is a human thing. Fighting against domination is a human thing. But then the question becomes like tort law, how do you repair? So in that sense, I think we overlap, but I think we have some very deep similarities.
I don't know that that's remotely the most interesting thing we have in common.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that just from us both ordering cognac when we sat down.
No, but I think part of it has to do with that both my dear brother and myself, though, we have a commitment to how do we understand Western civilization, how do we understand Europe, how do we understand America. We're able to keep track of both the ideals as well as the crimes, but also be able to have a role of the comic and the humorous, even as we try to keep track, given our agreements or deep disagreements about whatever we understand domination to be, whatever we understand oppression to be. But this sense of being deeply shaped by Socratic legacies of Athens, being shaped by Enlightenment, being shaped by Romanticism, we're just talking about Oscar Wilde and his genius, and being shaped by the U.S. experiment. the commitment on the one hand to liberty and freedom, wrestling with treatment of indigenous peoples, wrestling with working people, wrestling with gays and lesbians and trans, wrestling with blacks and browns, but also recognizing that it's shot through each and every one of us, the best as well as the worst.
But so much of this sounds like ethereal rhetoric. I feel like the right and the left, one of the differences is the left says something that sounds reasonable, like the legacy of slaves, they should get some compensation. You go, yeah, I guess that sounds okay. But then
when it
the
gets down to
right,
policy, it's
the right will
horrifying.
say who, when, where does it come from, how does it carried out?
There's this sort of venal, thin, mean specificity about a lot of Republican discourse and a lot of the way they respond to arguments. And you can make sophisticated and persuasive and beautiful responses to things without saying how much, who, when, and who's going to pay for it. You can talk about whether the right way to deal with historic, I mean, lots of black scholars, lots of white progressive scholars, they will talk about trauma being encoded in the body even of black people who live today, right? And certainly in the structures and all the rest of it. Now, there are very powerful arguments against that, but you don't hear them very often from the right. You more typically will hear, silly, you will hear, not silly, but you will hear stuff like, well, why should I pay for something I didn't do?
So you think
there we go. Now that's a very real thing. Let's go ahead and get through this commercial real quick. But no, that's true as far as generally speaking, a lot of us, we view the side of the right as far as like, strap up your boots and, go ahead and just get it done. Don't ask for nobody's help. Don't depend on anybody for anything, the whole nine, right? So we get that a lot. On the left side, generally, now again, I'm somebody who more so is an independent thinker, okay? And I do want to learn more. I want to learn more about how do we see these things that take place, right? So on the left side, it's more so, you know what? People should be taken care of. Now, me, the reason why I fall in the middle of that, because I do believe in self-accountability. I do definitely believe in making sure that you know what I'm saying? Like do what you need to do for you. I am a firm believer in this world doesn't owe you anything, but you know what I'm also a very, very strong believer in? To whom much is given, much is required, right? Like I do believe in, if you do have an abundance, you do have a certain degree of obligation to disperse, to give back. And I mean unconditionally, just give back to yours. So I mean, that's why I'm one of them, like there are so many parts of this. I'm going to see both sides. You see, but let's go ahead and get back to the video. Let's see what we got right here.
Are much more interesting conversations that we don't have because it's not really, there's not really a format in which it's permissible. Cable news is a car crash, People don't really read books, even young engaged voters, people who really care about things don't really read books. A sort of atomized, Twitterized world. There isn't really room for this, and even on the rare occasion that you get somebody who is a dyed-in-the-wool leftist, socialist, whatever, should they want to debate somebody from the other side, their own universities, in many cases, or the students at those universities won't permit them.
All right, so me personally, right, as somebody who is big on choice of wording, when we say debate, I'm very, very big on anybody who knows me. You would know that I always say, let's take religion, for example, because that's the other topic that we're not supposed to rabbit ears bring to the dinner table. So when it comes to that, I always tell people I do not debate religion. I do not. I will speak with you about what I believe, and I would love to hear what you believe. And the only thing I want to do is make comparisons to see what are possible similarities. Whatever it is that keeps you intact, cool. Now, same thing with the political aspect. Whatever your view of life is and which direction and how these things should be ran, the fact is No one person can make every single person happy. Why? Because it's always going to be somebody who disagrees with your view. Now, this is at least the small amount that I know myself. And this is just from a not even political, but just life observation perspective. Let's keep on rocking out. The time right now is 1:48 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. Respect to you all.
Because they can't bear the idea that a persuasive, intelligent, amusing, conservative, or even just a libertarian might be on campus. So I hear you in the sense that that's typically what we're used to the responses sounding like.
And this guy, Milo, was very, I actually remember him. Again, this is an older interview, right? But he was very, very interesting when he was at the height of his whole thing, because I actually was into the whole political content. I was looking at a lot of that. I was looking at a lot of stuff. So I'm hip to all of these characters. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't he supposed to be like the flamboyant gay Republican? Now, I'm not saying there aren't any people who vote red that, I'm just saying, typically, again, if we're going by what it is that we are used to seeing and hearing that come from both sides, generally on that side, you know what I'm saying? That's not more so the thing. And the only reason why I bring that up is because this is when I start to say, I don't care what side of the aisle it is. There's always going to be something that someone will find that will be of a contradicting factor, that will be of a, hold on, wait a minute, but I thought you said factor. There will always be so much that will happen that will shift people's minds as we go. There are a lot of people who were once red, now blue. There were people who were once blue, now red. And there are people like myself that I was kind of forced into voting a certain direction. And one day I just literally woke up myself and I decided to take my oh so important vote and keep it in the palm of my pocket until somebody is absolutely of a good standing for me to give my oh so important black ass vote to. So I just see a lot of this as more so games now, What you say, son? I can't, it's too small on that one. Let me pull it up. The law of the paradox. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's keep on rocking out. Let's see what we got right here.
I think it's a shame, and I think it's unnecessary.
Well, we just have to have more serious debates and substantive dialogues between left and right, between people who have deep philosophical and political disagreements, but also people who do overlap in terms of wanting to engage each other, learn and listen, but also respect to the degree to which we're able to scrutinize, to unleash the kind of Socratic energy that's necessary.
Right.
And yet at the same time recognize, we're going to fight for people's right to be wrong. We're going to fight for people's right to disagree. And sometimes the clashes will be ugly, sometimes it'll be less ugly. You hope they will be humane, but we have to have more and more spaces where left and right. And by left and right, I don't mean milquetoast liberal. I don't mean milquetoast conservative.
No, we mean people who disagree in the most fundamental terms about the way society should be organized.
But then you recognize they also have overlap too.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello.
Imperatives. It's like I won't get a job with the Republican Party, or I won't get a contributorship at Fox unless I fall in line with all this stuff that, if you were to really ask me honestly, I don't believe. I have met people who are from, the furthest left imaginable on my travels, and I have met moderates and I've met people I consider to be more right-wing than me. There are some. And 50% of what all these people believe they pretty much have in common. It's a different 50% with every different combination. But the idea that we live in this Manichaean, and this is an Enlightenment invention, which we as Christians know a little bit, but we know better, really.
But it goes back to Zoroaster. It goes back
right,
to
but it's the Enlightenment that brings in. It's the Enlightenment that brings in the real kind of like good, evil, dark, light. And this.
I do get what Brother Cornell is speaking about, as far as he was just tapping in on the fact of like, well, we keep on bringing up the fact of the Bible, which, yes, go by the Bible, stick to the Bible if that is your teachings. But we need to remember that there were teachings that correspond with the Bible long before it. And it's just historical proof. Whichever direction you take that in from that point on your own religious belief, that will be for the individual to do. But I just wanted to break that down just in case it might have gone over a head or two. So I get him when he says, yeah, the Zoroastrianism. Absolutely.
This is what gives rise to, this is getting rid of the messiness, like the Chesterton would be talking about, the inherent contradictions and eddies of Catholicism.
Glad you invoked
right?
Gilbert Keith.
The greatest.
Chesterton.
The
Oh
greatest.
my God.
The greatest.
Orthodoxy. September 1908. That is a classic.
It is one of my favorite books.
Is it right?
Yet another thing we have in common.
There we go.
Classic among
No,
classics.
it's spellbinding, and it is up there with.
What's being spoken about, Sunkiss, is whether or not we need black people deserve reparations. So yeah, they're kind of going, I guess, to some people all over the place, but the main discussion is about reparations primarily, and how the left sees it and how the right sees it. So let's keep on. I know your schedule be all tight and stuff like that, beloved, but yeah, if you want to come hang out for a second, I dropped that link for you. I got you, and we already done talked. I'm already hip. Wink, wink. I'm already sharp.
And at different stages in your life, it will speak to you in different ways. And Chesterton does that very well. Orthodoxy does it especially well. But he's talking about these inherent little contradictions in he's talking about Catholicism specifically, but Christianity more generally. And
He hadn't become a Catholic yet. He's still an Anglican.
But he's talking
But
about,
he's talking about
what's great about
Catholic
Catholicism
traditions
without
and
having
the Orthodox
border.
You're absolutely right. And he's on his way.
Right.
Right. He's on his way to Rome.
But it's the Enlightenment
That's exactly
that
right.
crushes all this out. In large part, but this is what makes space for the sort of
You remember how he ends that book, though? He ends that book by talking about the.
I got you, fam. You good? I see you. I'll be up here for at least about a good, hour, like maybe about 2 hours or so. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no long live, but I should be up here long enough for you to stop through if you want to. Go ahead, take care of your business. You already know how we rock out. Respect to the family. Y'all make sure y'all go support, go subscribe to Miss Queen Sunkiss. All right, Miss Queen Sunkiss, dope ass sister. Dope ass content, one of our OGs, if you want to call it, veterans in this space. Salute to her. Let's keep on rocking out.
Open mouths and the shouting cries of those in the Gothic cathedral.
the gargoyles and stuff.
Exactly. Remember that?
But this is where he's talking about laughter and war. It's sort of resounding through the cathedrals. We
But he's
used to
talking
Bellum,
about
right?
how
Yeah.
Jesus hides his mirth. He
Yes.
doesn't hide his anger. He doesn't hide his love. Jesus weeps. Socrates never cries. Jesus weeps, but he never laughs.
Yes, but that is true.
Yeah.
But the
See, now look, this is the part that makes it very interesting to me, because when I then get to looking at the perspective of how, okay, bet, so they're incorporating religion. Now let's think about the commandments. Let's think about a correlation between that and the amendments, right? So we know that a lot of the what is written throughout the Constitution. See, I know my basics, right? I ain't all the way there, but from what I do know, a lot of what is incorporated into the Constitution is derived from biblical texts, right? Or reference, should I say, biblical reference. Let's keep on rocking out.
medieval church saw through it, which is why the gargoyles that he's talking about, that Chesterton's talking about, you look at any Gothic cathedral, any church, the gargoyles, like they have their doodahs out in their hands, they're pulling faces, they're laughing. And medieval Christianity is, people are always about to burst into song, or always about to laugh, always about to sing, always.
I would probably want to burst out into laughter and sing as many times as I can if I was back in the days of medieval Christianity. Have y'all not seen? Medieval is during the days where like execution wasn't like a humane needle. No, execution was your intestines being strung up on a spiked a spool. Like, we're not going to play these games. Medieval days were extremely bad. The further back we go in history, we realize the more truly barbaric and just, I mean, absolutely horrendous mankind has been. We can go back to almost any of those centuries, all the way back to the Roman days when they had something called, what was that? The iron calf or something, the iron bull. Yeah, some people may be here. You know, they put you inside this bull and then set the bottom of the belly of the bull. And it's basically an oven. It's just shaped like a bull. And it's funny because where I'm from out in Delphi, we got something called the golden bull. And it looks just like it. It literally looks just like it. Just, we ain't never seen that trapdoor. Let's keep on going.
Was about to crack a smile and tell a joke.
Chaucer.
This is Chaucer,
himself.
exactly, right?
This
This
is
is Chaucer.
Chaucer
This is Chaucer.
himself, the greatest comic writer we have in English language.
But then we get to the Enlightenment.
Yeah.
And then we get to this sort of funless, anodyne, you know,
But
bleak.
Voltaire's got jokes. Lichtenberg's got jokes.
Not very good ones. Not as good
ones,
as ours.
But you agree, but you agree the laughter's there, though.
Oh, they're sort of thin. They're thin, aren't they? They're thin.
Well, it's not Aristophanes, so it's
Right,
not,
but,
yeah,
but
that's
this,
true.
this stuff
That's
all
true.
disappears in the Enlightenment, and then we have, you know, then we have the horrors of Vatican II trying to re-inject Christianity into relevance because the world has become this Wittgensteinian, you know, logic-driven, dull, bleak, joyless hell, which gives rise to Stalin and Hitler.
Do you think that's where
And
we
this
are
is-
now, in a sense?
Of course,
Comedy is
this is
dead.
it. This,
So,
and this,
I mean, this is
like
why
you're
we
talking
got
about
to
the
defend
Socratic
the
method.
comic. You got to defend the comic now. You defend the
Now, that is something I would say is very, very true as well. As far as comedy, man, you know, I come from the days of where you could just simply just tell a joke. Yo, I come from the days of joning for fun. Like, I come from the days of mama jokes, yo mama, for fun. Now, if we were to really dive deeper into it, was that a deeper psychological issue or something like that? I'm not too, what you say? I'm not too hip to that part too much because I haven't studied enough of it. But I do know that, man, we've always taken like, you know, the fat guy who gets up on stage and tells fat jokes about himself. I remember the time I bought a 2-door Honda Civic and I couldn't get in the car, so on and so forth. But you know what I'm saying? So we recognize that. We recognize that there has been throughout time a form of getting through pain through laughter. Laughter is very, very actually physically healing to the body. So I do recognize the headspace of when we actually, you know what? I'm going to laugh at this. You know, shoot, even my own accident. I sometimes laugh at myself. You know what I'm saying? And we need to recognize as people how much we really do fight to keep our mental and our peace in a certain headspace. So let's just keep that in factor, right? Let's get back to the video. The time right now is 2:01 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's get back to it.
The Socratic, the comic, and the tragic comic. I mean, you got to defend blues, you got to defend Chekhov. But the point that my brother's making about the erasure of the humorous and the comic, which is not just the funny and the humorous, because it cuts deeper than that. It's talking about
comedy leads into
incongruity.
tragedy, and comedy leads into tragedy. You've got irony, paradox, and contradiction, all of which take us into Chesterton, take us into the real soul of Christianity.
Sunkiss. Where we at? We at 10:35. We at 10:35 on this video. Sunkiss. This is what the beginning of the video said, okay? All right. So since you keep asking me, all right, your smart ass. Since you keep asking me, show.
We're living in an era of free speech prohibition, and we're here at a speakeasy where we're doing the forbidden things, the verboten things. We're having two people have a civilized conversation, someone from the right and someone from the left. Now, I know people on the right are seeing these two people and going, oh, you have a sane person from our side and some lunatic. And the people on the left are saying, oh, you have a sane person from our side and some lunatic. They're both wrong. In both cases, we have human beings with valid things to say and a lot of things in common. I'm going to try to re-merge the country and have people have decent conversations again. But that's forbidden, so shh. Come on. Gentlemen, I see you're already been taken care of. Are 4 reparations, is that true?
All right, Sunkiss, did you hear that? So the conversation started off, okay? It started off just like this. We're going to go back to 1039. I got us.
Discussing what you both have in common. And I think you both are for reparations, is that true?
Yes, in principle, as long as the money's spent in fairly specific ways, but yes.
Well, I think that's true, especially if we define
That, and then I don't know how we got to where we are now. Now let's go back to 1039. Bow. Let's get to it. You see where I'm at? There you go, fam. Respect to you. Yeah. So it you know, it was kind of throwing me off too as well. You know, it was kind of throwing me off, but that's exactly where we are. Yeah, the conversation started off. The original founding question was reparations. Let's go.
To make it through this miserable existence.
Just be human. We're
Just
talking about the death sentence in space and time.
Now we done got to space, but you know, I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, we will be able to. Maybe they will circle back. So I think it's one of those type of discussions where it's a little kind of, you know, to make it a show, draw it out a little bit longer. But I do believe at some point they're going to circle back. For the record, I have not seen this, and I'm not going through this whole damn video. I might do about a good 30 minutes or so, but let's go.
Kafka talks about.
And you do not hear in modern political debates anyone talk about what would make somebody happier. Think about, you know, women after the Second World War. Their position in society has, and I don't think any reasonable person could plausibly claim otherwise, women's position in society has improved dramatically.
He was so.
Sunkiss, you voted for Cornel West, right? You did vote for him, right? I know you voted for Cornel, didn't you, Sunkiss? Sunkiss, you still there?
Bad. It was so bad.
Sure. And we can all agree, you know, I mean,
nowhere to go, but
I do have a nostalgic. There's a little nostalgic thing in my brain. It's like 1950s was the place to be, really. You know, but I know that
it was a tough time.
But I don't know I'd survive the veil of ignorance in the 50s, right? So maybe not. But
you know what's funny? You know, he was my vote too. He was actually my vote. I didn't vote, for the record, because I have made that clear. I didn't vote. Like once I saw it was at the last two candidates, you know, and it's like, yeah. But he was my vote too. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I was to pick, and because I don't know, he at least seemed the least extreme in every direction. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, if you at least seem like you got some sense and some balance, and considering everybody else who has been up there, I mean, why not? Shit. Gave Trump a chance, right? Why not? Shit. Get his brother a chance. That was my view, personally. Let's go.
So women's place in society, right? More than go to college now, you know.
The progress has been.
But they've been getting progressively more miserable, not happier. Every 10 years, women report themselves more generally unhappy with life, more depressed, more, you know.
I think that's since the sort of Steinem feminism. I think before that they said you can get out of the kitchen if you want. And then with Gloria Steinem it said get out of the kitchen no matter what, get a career.
Well, it's taken freedom. It's taken some freedom away for sure. But I don't think it's the compulsion to work that has made women unhappy. I think it is setting up unrealistic expectations for themselves of what they can accomplish, which was set up by, you know, Steinem and by other people, but really, you know, is not quite the 60s all sex is rape feminism. It was more the 80s, 90s you can have it all feminism.
So you don't think it's career related?
Of course, it's career related, but the really damaging.
See, I wish I knew more about. I really do. Who is this? I really wish that I knew more about this whole feminism thing. Like, I really, really do. Because if only I did, you know what I'm saying, then I would actually get it better. But I don't. I don't get it. All I know is that growing up, I do remember now a lot of people say, all right, so a lot of talk is this. Feminism started around the time of Gatorade. That's right. You know how they say, like, the whole remember the commercial when the girls was playing soccer and it was something like anything you can do, I can do better, right? Right around that time is when people say that happened. So when I was growing up, I believe that was in like the early 80s, 90s. Now, of course, we all know that there are other people who say these things have been going on when it comes to feminism before that. And they go back to movies. Everybody's always talking about Color Purple and all this other stuff that I just sit back and I just take a back seat on it. Because all I know is that I grew up in probably the best era that the world has ever seen. And we grew up during the time where you were allowed to just grow up. So a lot of things that were possibly taking place, I'm going to be honest with you, I really wasn't seeing. I really didn't see it. Let's go ahead. Let's get back to it.
Damaging, lasting, immiserating feminism didn't actually happen in the 60s and 70s. As destructive as some of that stuff was, it was the Sex and the City feminism. Because this is what has
Be a slut feminist.
Yeah, but this is what encouraging women to behave like men.
That's top-down feminism, usually on vanilla sides of town.
Yes, for
the most part, but it's a question of class.
Okay now, brother Cornell, he gently sliding in there with the listen, that's white folks, bro. Don't even put that on us.
It's a question of class and
Yes,
income
it's
and
wealthy
money.
white women.
It's very
wealthy
real.
white women, and it is wealthy white women. And this doesn't make ordinary women. And
You know what? And I remember when that show used to come on HBO. I remember the days of that, that whole era. That was part of the lineup on television type thing, commercials and stuff. I remember those days. I must say, I ain't even never look at it like that, but looking back on it now, because back then we were just looking at TV just to look at TV for the most part. Most of the things that it's like hindsight being 2020 at this point. Most things are hindsight being 2020. So I never looked at it in the perspective of, yeah, that is true. They was a bunch of rich and older, right? So now we would say hey, you got kids or you over 35. Yo, them chicks look like they was easily late 30s. And I think one or two of them looked like they was in their 40s. Or maybe we just aged the best. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get back to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 2:11 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in.
especially doesn't make lower socioeconomic group, women very happy. And you just don't hear anybody on television saying, okay, so all this stuff has happened. Why are women so miserable? And what can we do to fix their levels of happiness?
But you know what, brother? I think
That's
the
sad.
brothers of all colors are miserable too. I mean,
Ladies, are y'all miserable? Fellas, are y'all miserable? Just a question out there. Let's keep on going.
the kind of society that we have is so much rotten decadence and decline in it that if you're trying to conform yourself to it, no matter what color or what gender or what sexual orientation, the notions of success, the wonderful essay by Tennessee Williams, The Catastrophe of Success. Powerful, wrote that right after Glass Menagerie.
Right.
That if your conception of success is just prosperity, financial and material gain, then you're going to end up soulless, empty.
Yes. Do you think, despite the censoriousness, the censorship that's happening with comedians, and I would say especially on the political
This is the
right,
sad thing we were talking about.
yeah, you guys were talking about this before we started rolling.
That's right.
And I don't know where you position yourself on this, but you presumably would
No, but
agree that it is currently coming down against
libertarian sensibilities. We got to have what the Greeks call parrhesia.
Do you think it's the very best or the very worst time to be an iconoclast? Because it seems to me that the only people who are really happy, despite the inclement weather, let's say, despite the many challenges that someone like you or someone like me will face, we can't go on social networks, it's difficult to raise money, can't reach our fans, whatever.
Work confidently while on.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm happy. I wake up every morning and I'm like, what are they going to throw at me today? It seems to me like.
What is the source of your happiness? Where does that come from?
Well, maybe partly because I have love in my life, but that
makes a difference too.
It does, but that didn't come until I kind of embraced not wanting to conform anymore and not needing to be part of any clubs and not wanting to go to the right dinner parties.
Love is more mysterious than that, though.
Well,
it comes and goes. And
I can't help. But I got uncles who start doing shit like that when they look at you and they tilt their glasses underneath their eyes and start nodding their head back and forth like a damn, like a gecko. Ah, shit. Nah, man, that just, yeah. He having an around the way moment. He out back right now. Oh, man. But no, there is a lot of truth to what is being said right now. So a lot of truth to that is, yes, love is a lot more mysterious than what you will ever know. Most people don't even last long enough to know what love truly even consists of. Let's keep rocking on. Time right now is 2:14 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's keep on rocking out.
This is a mixture of.
Is that right? Love is mysterious.
It is gay love.
So it's not real love. It's not real love. It's not real love. It's not real love. It's not like a man and a woman. It's not real love. It's just bad.
That's why you only get one chance to cross me.
Whose mind is this? You put him on the TV. Go home! Bro, don't. Go home! Go home!
It's just, you don't have to worry about your daughters getting into this school. You don't have to assimilate.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know how status-conscious homosexuals are? Do you know the stresses and challenges and pressures?
You like the danger.
When you inherit a stepson and you're thinking, well, he wasn't on the path to Harvard, but he better be now. And I don't just have
a lot of pressure.
I don't know. Of course. Where am I going to tell my friends he's going to school?
We have more pressure than you.
No, you get to craft your child from birth. You can read.
Are you serious?
Other short shorts, no one cares.
Once upon a time, that may have appealed to me, but these days I feel there are all kinds of horrendous pressures on gay people who aren't mental or who aren't really stupid, because all of what used to be transgressive gay culture. I mean, Black America still has it. Although it is becoming corporatized.
And I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm
commodified.
But they still have it. They shut down campuses. Black Lives Matter. This is raising hell. You know, this is still raising hell. Gays do not raise hell anymore. I mean, they have floats sponsored by Mercedes, and that's it. You know, like gays do not raise hell anymore.
Being freaks, so they don't have this compulsion to assimilate the way that normal people do.
You just can't get it out of yourself, can you? Just can't let it go.
No, but it can cut the other way because you've been excluded for so long. You can't wait to be included.
And I think
it goes both ways. But the lesbian sisters and the precious trans folk, they have even more pressure, especially socioeconomically.
Are they precious? Are they especially precious?
Oh, yes, they are. Oh,
why are they precious?
Because they made in the image of God, my brother.
Well, everybody is, but that doesn't make them
precious.
Well, of course, but everybody's precious then.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, but you just want to point it out, especially in that case.
No, I think everybody's precious.
I'm just asking.
No, that's true. I think everybody's precious.
Is Trump precious?
Oh yes, he's made in the image of God. Yes. He's just wrong.
Closer than any of the rest of us.
He's just deeply wrong. I mean, he's my foe, but I mean, he's still a human being.
Let's ask about Trump for a sec. Sorry.
Sure.
Number one reason Trump is in office, in your view, what do you think the number one? Just make one simple phrase or sentence. Why is Trump in office?
The inability of neoliberal elites to deliver to working classes, which allowed Trump to gain access to them. And as the neoliberal center collapsed, it was either going to be left populism, my dear brother Bernie Sanders. He would have won if the Clinton people had not treated him unfairly.
Well, no.
Oh, I'm telling you.
No. Sanders, Trump. Come on now. That would have put socialism back 40 years.
Well, maybe we'll have another.
That would have been the most humiliating defeat in American electoral history.
I don't know about that.
Black Air Force energy.
No, because
He had the
Sanders is no longer
enthusiasm,
credible.
he had the momentum, he had the motion.
Look, I think there's a lot in common
But all
between
this is
Sanders and
hypothetical, of course.
a lot in common between Sanders and Trump voters.
Or at least a slice of them.
A slice of them, which is perhaps why a fifth.
Right.
They said that a fifth of the Sanders voters went over to Trump, and you can understand if they're primarily motivated by the anti-elite,
it was anti-Hillary that brought them.
There's a liberal arrogance, there's a liberal self-righteousness, there's a liberal haughtiness that everyday people revolted against.
So your answer to the Trump question is economic.
Well, in part,
primarily.
it was also a white backlash against Obama. There's no doubt about that. But that is one factor among others. Oh no, that's one factor.
Do you really think so?
There's a slice.
Okay.
I think people have often viewed that as the sole factor. I disagree with that.
What about all the white people? What about the Obama voters who voted for Trump? They were backlashing against
Because there are a lot of
themselves?
people who voted for both, especially in those places that he won in that he wasn't expected
for
to, right?
those
The Michigan
particular
places.
ones, the Obama people who voted for Trump, they were the ones who were victimized by the neoliberal elites that
During that
generated
decade.
grotesque wealth inequality. You see.
Weren't you one of those? Like, weren't you someone who was mad at Barack Obama and felt betrayed by him?
Absolutely. The tide of Wall Street, the drones dropping bombs on innocent people, the surveillance. See, I got a libertarian sensibility. This notion of keeping us under control and surveillance and so forth is something I had serious concerns about. And even within the black context. I mean, you got a Black Lives Matter movement among a black president, black Homeland Security cabinet member, and black attorney general.
Right, but
They're
this
not
is
coming through. They didn't deliver.
But you see, this is what you've hinted at is my problem with your analysis.
Okay, let me hear.
Because white-black backlash against, you got me interested up to that point. But Obama? I don't know about that. Could be.
But he was as symbol, though, as symbol.
Was he really?
I mean, he
that
wasn't
short-
Malcolm X, we know that.
No, but
I
was
mean,
he that?
as
Was he
symbol.
that shorthand? Was he that proxy for a variety of impulses and attitudes that white working class America hated? I'm not sure about that.
All the
I'm not
vicious,
sure about that.
demonizing symbols of Brother Barack Obama were circulated.
Just look at what Republican
That's every
women
president.
get. Obama.
No, but this was racist, though.
Yeah, but Obama.
This one was
okay,
racist.
but Obama
With
got a
monkeys and all this kind of
Obama got a
ugly
fraction
apes and all
of
this
what
stuff, you know.
and
was a
Coulter
slice
gets
of
every
that.
week.
Well,
you know,
no,
I mean,
but it's a different kind of demonizing. Demonizing in general, I'm against.
Absolutely.
But it's a different kind of demonizing, you see.
Perhaps, and I
Yeah.
think maybe for some voters there was Obama was used as a proxy, as a shorthand, right? But it seems to me
But
really
the
that
class
this was
issue
happening
and the economic issue
class is
is what
class is very
I
important.
want to accent here, because Obama had a moment where he had Wall Street against the wall.
Yeah.
And he had the meeting, and what did he tell them?
Have some
He
money.
said, I stand between you and the pitchforks. I will protect you. I'm on your side. Now, from my point of view, that's what you say to working people.
Yeah,
That's what
let
you say
them
to poor
burn.
people.
Let the banks burn.
Well, no, they're human beings. They're still human beings over there, but they've been greedy.
Yeah.
And they've been involved in crimes.
And he
How
did-
many of the executives went to jail?
He
But
did.
conservatives were
He helped to
furious about
excuse
that.
them from the consequences.
Absolutely.
Right,
He absolved him. And here he's talking about when he goes to Morehouse and he says, I want you black people to pull your pants up and take personal responsibility. Then he goes to Wall Street. He doesn't talk about personal responsibility. They get off the hook.
Right.
He does
too
have
big
that
to
thing
fail.
that
So there's
Democrats.
going to be a populism. In responding to that, it's going to be right-wing populism. It's going to be left-wing populism.
He does have that problem that all Democrats have, and some Republicans, of course, do it too with
Yeah,
pandering,
yeah.
but Democrats especially. You know, when you see Hillary, you know, sticking on her Southern accent, all the rest of it, Democrats seem to have this problem especially.
Yeah.
For me, though, the thing with Obama wasn't race so much as manliness. I mean, Trump is the sort of walking embodiment of the heroic masculine virtues we haven't seen in public life for a really long time.
You know, Brother Harvey Manfield's written about this. You know, his book on manliness.
With all of his many obvious faults, and shortcomings, and he has many of them. I hate that he doesn't read books, but it's just obviously not part of his DNA, right?
That's true.
And that's okay.
How in the world did he get through University of Pennsylvania?
We're not trying, but you know, we're not trying. We're not voting for. We're not voting for Jesus. We're voting for a president. Trying to get heaven on earth is a Marxist thing, and it's doomed to failure and disaster. But that's another conversation.
I agree there never be heaven on earth,
right,
but things can still get better.
No, we're going to get to that.
Of course.
Right,
But
right,
you don't have. This is the mistake that a lot of the evangelical conservative authors made, but evangelical voters did not. Which is, we're voting for a president. We're not voting for a pope, right? So.
I like to learn new things. I like to acquire new information and see where everybody's head is. All right. So now that we done got through that segment, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. And this quick commercial break is brought to you by none other than yours truly. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a nice little follow-up on the toxic couple. So shout out to, you know, Mickey Truth once again. Definitely want to give sis a big salute. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. I will see you all right after these quick commercial messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hold my ground, never run, understand to overcome. Golden child, God sent me, I'm the chosen one. Understand lone stars, focus like an artist on. Concrete when I write, damn right the hardest one. When I bleed, lava leaks, cause I'm hotter than the sun. Trying to stack a whole loaf, cause I'm tired of eating crumbs. Can't speak peace around me, you better watch your tongue. Yeah, I'm cool, but I wreck, beat you like a set of drums. Kirking out, busting off, kinda like a loaded gun. Rhymes like morphine, cause I be the dopest one. And I'm keeping it real. CPG's what I rap, but I'm keeping it real. All you perpetrating, hating niggas head for the hills. I got some DC gorillas that'll eat your grill. During this time of Babylon, the beef is real. Understand that the beef is real. Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the video. I ain't even gonna hold us. With that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. So if anybody remembers, we were talking about the toxic couple. So I'm just, you know, at least like a little slight follow-up. So I have two clips that I want to play in regards to this. So we're first going to hear from the brother who wants to speak up on behalf of things, right? And y'all know I'm going to give my 2 cents on that. And then we also have, I believe, a friend wants to speak up. And you know I have something that I'm going to say on regards to that as well. So with that being said, shout out to Mickey Truth. Go subscribe to sis. Respect to the family. Let's get it.
Oh, this is his brother.
Hey, what's it like this? Yeah, what do you spoke about how? Hey, whew. I would say it like this. Damn, bro, sorry to take you serious, my nigga. And shit, I thought it was just a typical. I thought it was just a typical, my nigga. I ain't even gonna cap. I thought it was just a typical.
So his brother taking his woman's life, then taking his own life. And again, when we say the typical, now, you know, I do recognize that this man is going through something. I want us to go ahead and really take time to pay attention. This right here is a prime example from our own family, you name it, so on and so forth. Most men do suffer in silence. And there were a lot of psychological keynotes that were taking place throughout the entire ordeal between him and his woman. And we just got to note that we are in a society in a day and age where, like, you really are supposed to just shut up, don't say nothing, just walk off, just hold it in, bottle it up. And when a person finally does reach that boiling point, if you want to say, or the cup has overflown, you know, by then, you know, a lot of times, at least with us as men, it could already be too late. So I want us to pay attention to that. Let's go ahead and get back to it.
I thought it was just the normal bro and sis, you know? Hey, this real. This real. This the real as I can get. 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 This the real as it can get. This the real as it can get. This the real as it can get. This the real as I can get. Y'all, this the real as I can get. I've been real with y'all about everything. But this the real as I can get. This the real as I can get. Y'all know how much I love Mark. That nigga Mark did everything for me. That nigga a real nigga for me. That nigga child.
Now, you know, on a psychological level, I would like to speak on the fact of this is what happens when we grow up in a day and age and in a society in which we're not able to release. And I mean, like, release however you feel, whatever's going on with you in a healthy way. See, when it's years and years and years of things pent up and backed up, then when conflict comes, because the fact is, no matter how entertaining it was to people, we were hearing the dysfunction of what was going on with that couple in their home, right? So while we're listening to this dysfunction, a lot of people weren't even taking the time to recognize that these two individuals need some serious counseling and or help. They need some form of intervention. But the audience allowed it to just keep on going. Matter of fact, not allowed it. They actually boosted it. It was nothing but smiling and laughing emojis and everything else. The man went and grabbed a knife out of the drawer. The man said just before that, and women like you, I mean, bees like you, right, need to be beat or deserve to get beat. All of the things that are clear signs of something's not right here. But in our community, you know what you're supposed to do? Just shut up and don't say nothing. Laugh it off and always act like nothing ever bothers you. The biggest problem. That's how we get to the point where it goes that far. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to fake, because the fact is, it's not genuine, it's not real. You feel something. Now, different people, different levels. Some genuinely are narcissists, and they do not feel anything for the next person, whether they have a hand to play in it or not. Some people just really want to mask what it is that society says that we should. You're not supposed to show that you actually feel some kind of way about anything, especially as a man, especially when you're supposed to be like, you know, thugging it out. You smell me now? Respect to the family. The time right now is 2:31 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's get back to the video.
This beat for me, everything. Nigga shit on my nigga. Nigga shit on my brother name, but kill him, nigga. Oh God.
And even in this moment, I do recognize it's like, okay, your brother passed away on live. I guess maybe he's, it's a tribute. Maybe, you want to make sure you clear certain things up. I do recognize that as somebody who does social media and content creation. I do recognize that. Now, the main thing that I'm focused on right now is notice how that is what we do. When these two who were once here, condolences to the family, rest in peace to them both. When they were here, they went to the internet to talk about their problems. Right now, he's on the internet talking about his problems. And this curse of a cycle continues of taking something so private, so precious, whatever it may be, and not giving it, as they would say, maybe in the word, casting pearls. Right now, even down to if your pearls are what the truth is behind this when it comes to how you personally feel, you hopping on the internet and thinking that people genuinely care. No, they don't. I don't care how many emoji, faces, hearts, anything you see. Because if people genuinely did care, people would not have hyped it up to the point where they're laughing when he grabs a kitchen knife out of the drawer, puts it on the counter, and says, you ain't going to leave out of here. We have to pay attention to that. Now, when he said that, was he being evil? I can't say that. I don't know the guy. But the one thing that I can tell you is that there were definitely some issues that were unresolved that needed to be dealt with. And it did not need to be dealt with online, on a Facebook Live or Instagram or what have you. Let's keep on rocking out.
Hey, this is as real as it can get. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm sorry, bro. I ain't take you serious. Nigga, I'm sorry I ain't take you serious, nigga. Nigga, I'm sorry. Whew.
And you know what's wild? He said he's sorry that he didn't take him serious. But any other moment, we do take the internet serious. Why? Because everybody gets relationship advice from it. Everybody wants to be it. Everybody wants to be on it and be big on it. Why? Because we take it serious, right? But the funny factor, that catch-20, that rock in the hard spot about it is, but when people are genuinely going through something, it's all fun and games until something happens. Perfect example, the couple in Las Vegas, that story recently, right? Ended in tragedy. This is the second couple who were social media, I guess you can say, on social media, right? And it's almost like, I don't know, less than 30 days apart. This is like less than 30 days apart. Why? Not taking the internet seriously. But we need to recognize how to take it serious and what parts we need to take it serious in. Let's keep on rocking out.
My brother, I love you. I love you more than a lot of people love you. I love you to my dying breath. I love you to your dying breath. I did.
You already found it?
You know what I wonder? Y'all see all of those like emojis going up, right? I wonder how many of those emojis going up for right now, right? You see like the sad faces. Let me pull it up. All right. So you see like them sad faces and stuff. I wonder, you back? I got you. Okay, Shaw. I wonder how many of those people doing the sad face emojis are some of the same people that was doing the laughing face emojis when they was both on here, clearly displaying that there's an issue, there's a problem here, and y'all really should not be egging this on. Nobody's telling them, hey, y'all, get off the live, turn the live off. Now, of course, you know, you got some family members, maybe some close people, or even some level-headed strangers. But when you talking about something that's just flooding with comments, that shit gets drowned out by keep going, keep going, keep going. Give us more of the mess, more of the mess, more fight, more fight. That's not how we want to do it. You smell me now? Let's go ahead and get back to it.
Ooh. Hey, you want to see I wish y'all wouldn't have pushed you, my brother. But I can't take away accountability. You know, we all told you to leave him. We all told you to, you know, and I'm sorry for her family too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for 7, my niece. My fucking niece.
Yeah, because look, right? All right. So, like, real talk, we gotta recognize something, man. Basically, from what's understood so far is, you know, he caught her cheating, so on and so forth. Now, we all know how it go, right? If your woman leaves you, if your woman cheats on you, you just supposed to, nigga, why you supposed to already have other hoes lined up. You just supposed to just, nigga, I mean, it should be no problem. Just move on. Just don't say nothing. You not supposed to ever, like, what? You tripping over, you tripping over, for real? You tripping over chick, man, come on now. And whole T, what that does is, that does one of two things, if not both. It makes that man bottle it up, and like, seriously, that's what happens to us as men. Like, we'll just bottle that shit up, right? But then outside of that, then what also happens is you find yourself having that one day where just everything floods out of you. Sometimes it can come out just in tears. Other times, a lot of times, it can come out very angry and very violent, to the point where not only is that victim no longer here, so is the one who committed the assault. These things happen. So, you know, I don't know how still far we are into Men's Mental Health Month. I didn't even know we had a month until this month. So don't mind me for not being too hip about it. I just know I try to take care of my mental health all year round. Let's keep on going.
I'm sorry for Cody, my nephew that you took on as your own. I'm sorry for that. I'm so fucking sorry. I wish I would have. I tried. I called. Everything. I did. I called. But he didn't pick up. And it's okay. It's okay, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Cause nigga, guess what my daddy said? My daddy said, now you free. Now you free. So it's all, dang. I took it for a game. I took it for a joke, y'all. And I shouldn't have did that. And for that, I apologize.
Because that's what most of us do with life now. I listen, I'm only here to deliver message wise, right? Or at least from my perspective, what I'm seeing and how I'm taking it in. That's how we take life. We take life as a joke. We take life as a game, all the way down to the point of actually dissing the dead. Let's keep going.
But I'm not gonna say much. I'm gonna say, bruh, I love you, and sis, I love you. I'm not gonna take nothing away from neither family. I hope I could be a part of my niece's life. But goddamn, y'all, motherfucking fruit already gone for killing fucking J-Bo, my sister, brother. My fucking biological sister brother lost his life to my brother. And now I gotta deal, hey, but I'm built for this. This is what I'm built for. I'm built for real pain. I've been going through it since the jit, right?
And I actually believe him. Built for pain. Now, that's the thing. Now, of course, in life, we all should be, we all should acquire a certain amount of like tolerance for, don't be too soft, don't be glass jawed, as we would say back in the day. Don't have no glass jaw, right? Don't be so easily knocked out or knocked down, but it's also the factor of, I still say, what don't kill you does make you stronger, but it can also make you callous. So you probably, bruh, was callous to the fact that your brother was going through something, and it's not even your fault. Like, it's not even like, something that is of your real actual conscious doing. No, you probably just subconsciously knew, hey man, it's just how we do shit. Like, don't nobody be crying about no shit. Don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you really come from, bruh, don't nobody care about you. Nigga, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Like, when you continuously hear those type of responses, I need us to really focus on that right now. Yo, there are a lot of people who come from an environment when they really going through some shit, they are continuously talking, man, come on, bro. Everybody, like, folks try to change the subject real quick and everything. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, bro. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying? You trying to get this money? So what you got on you? Nobody wants to hear it. So we got to recognize that. Nah, that's something very, very deep. That's something very vital. And I just wanted to point that out. Like, that's a real thing. So are men nowadays, for the most part, like, so emotionally damaged and everything else? Absolutely. But I'm also starting to look deeper into more of the key factors as to how did we even get to this point. And I'm starting to recognize it a lot better. That's all I'm saying. I'm starting to actually see it's not just because this is just a horrible line of men. It's a reason. It's a reason. Let's keep on going.
So I'm built for this. I can take this. You know what I'm saying, nigga? I can take this, nigga. I can take this.
Because you've had to since a child, because you weren't built for love. You weren't built for knowing what nourishment is like. I mean, I'm talking about for your soul, not just your body. Like true spiritual nourishment. A lot of us are denied that. Nobody else will talk about it. I will.
But I ain't gonna keep y'all long. Guess what? I'ma still get on here for Father's Day and I'ma smile with my kids. You know, I ain't gonna show my kids no goddamn, nothing crazy. Yeah. But yeah. But hey. Yeah, I can't believe it. Nigga, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But yeah, nigga. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So for the most part, now I wanted to just make sure I got the brother in there. Okay? But he's a lot more emotional about it. So now, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and pull up what I believe it's like a friend, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And once again, shout out to Mickey, right? So it's like a friend that popped up and, you know what I'm saying, has something to say. And she actually talks about it a lot better, and I understand the brother is in a very, very emotional state, as he should be in. But again, I don't think the internet is the best place to come and be the most emotional like that. I believe this is when you go off to that cabin in the woods. That's just me. Don't mind me. All right? That's just me. So let's go ahead and let's see what Mickey got on this one right here, right? Respect to the family. Let's do it.
I know everybody been seeing the man that unalived his wife and unalived himself afterwards. I used to work with the girl Zaria at Hyundai. So rest in peace to both people. This is sad, but personally, I do not feel like that man meant to kill that woman.
Yeah, I apologize. I believe Zaria Carr, and I believe I think they call the brother the Frenchman or something like that. Respect to him as well. Condolences to the family and rest in peace to them both.
The reason why I say that is because she was found unconscious. She wasn't stabbed, she wasn't shot, or none of that. This is a known event. That was the talk of the warehouse, them fighting, they toxic relationship. She thought it was cute. And that's what people do. They think shit like that is cute until it go too far. So y'all, they been fighting. They been doing that. They been posting that shit, going live, and people was going in on her best friend. The best friend said it in the status. If y'all know Zaria like alive. In the live, what she saying, what they saying in the comments, This is unfortunate. It's sad, but this could have been prevented. That man is at the lowest point of his life, and a person is belittling somebody, antagonizing them, kicking them while they down. As an abuse survivor, if I'm afraid of my abuser, I'm not going to do that. So this particular time, you know, y'all always fighting. She said, let me put my shoes on, let me get ready. You know, y'all live for this. Y'all live for people telling y'all need y'all on TV show, da-da-da-da. This time, this man is at the lowest point of his life.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Let me go ahead and hit my disclaimer.
That's it. He just so happened to knock the girl out and she never got back up. That's why I feel like he truly did not mean to kill that girl. He didn't stab her. He didn't shoot her. They fighting like they normally do. The shit just went too far. The girl was found unconscious.
It could be possibly, you know, I know a similar story that comes from when I was incarcerated during my stay. And there was a guy who was in there just for a simple trespassing charge. And he went on ahead and he caught, I guess, his bunk buddy stealing out of his commissary anyway, you know, stealing from him. And so he pulled him off the bed. He hit his head on the metal desk, went into a coma, never came out of the coma. They wound up charging him with a body. Right. So he went from trespassing to a whole M charge. Just that quick. So I wonder if maybe after looking deeper, I actually want to look deeper into that because I'm curious about that now, considering what she's saying. Let's just go with, and let's just say for now, okay, that was what happened. Allegedly, if that's what happened, then I'm wondering if she possibly just hit her head, because that does happen. She possibly, you know, could have hit her head on something and ruptured, you know, what's that? Hemorrhaging of the brain. Let's go.
Once you're unconscious for after a certain amount of minutes, I don't know, I think it's like 7 to 10 minutes. That's it. And so everybody bashing the man, trying to make the man look like a bad person. He got some fucked up ways, but y'all knew that already. Like the girl said, you know everything about this man. You knew this before, but you chose to stay and embarrass him and kick him and humiliate him. And you the big dog and you the boss, and you know, and she not no small girl. She taller than him and she was bigger than him. So, you know what I'm saying? You trying to be a threat to a man. Men don't handle shit the way women do. Women go, somebody, they gonna click out. And as an abuse survivor, like I said, if I'm afraid of somebody that's abusing me, my life is possibly in danger. They was going in on the best friend. The best friend even said it. Y'all know Zaria like alive. Why nobody took her last status serious? If she was so afraid for her life, nobody took that shit serious.
And we're gonna go ahead. It's that time. I was trying to I was trying to time it. Yeah, just got to take a very, very brief commercial break. And this commercial break is brought to you by Fishing with White Folks.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Skills around the corner. Walking on the fighting side of me.
That don't look like it.
It don't. It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
Because they know people be wanting attention on the internet until it goes too far, and that's all this was. Getting my lick back went too far. Attention seeking, whether it's negative or positive, the shit just went too far. That's it.
You know what's...
So, it went too far, that's it. Well, that's because continuously there is a mixture between what is reality and what is the illusion. What is reality and what it is that we perceive it to be. Now, the fact is this, right? It's not going too far. It's been gone too far. It's been way too much. I mean, way too much. So we just got to keep in mind that the fact is, we will say the internet is fake, but yet it's all real people telling real stories from a real location. All right, now let's go ahead and math that math up.
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
I mean, so how fake is it really? How many times have we not seen somebody actually be deleted on a live? They were on live and not here anymore. You know, people love to record stuff, right? You know, people love social media. You know how many people have recorded what they would, you know, snuck, whatever, deletions online. So is it not real? Right? So how fake could it really be? If every time we're online, for the most part, it is a real individual in a real location. So let's just think about that part. And everybody want to keep talking about I'm not internet while saying it on the internet.
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
We doing just like if you go down my page 5 months ago, and I said I love when bitches think they could bully me at work. That shit don't never go how they think it's gonna go. And then that's when I drop my song. Y'all do the math to put 2 and 2 together. People be doing shit, trying to bully shit, trying to provoke shit, trying to antagonize shit, and then y'all like to play the victim when shit happens. I got empathy for them kids, and that's it, because this could have been prevented. I am so sorry this happened. Rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying? We got to be real. We got to be real about shit. And stop always, oh, nobody life deserved it. We know that. We know that. That's why you're supposed to carry yourself a certain way to make sure that you make it to live another day. To make sure that your kids got you another day the way that you said that they needed you. You know what I'm saying? People be looking for shit, and sometimes they get exactly what they're looking for. This is the last video I'm gonna make about the situation.
Which really makes me question the so-called happiness of what most people say they are in. All right, so most people say that they are so happy, but they only would want to see things that are so the opposite of what they claim themselves to be. Let's keep on rocking out.
More people seeing part 2 than they seeing part 1. So everybody think I'm defending the Frenchman. They think I am justifying a murder, which I'm not. I have critical thinking abilities to see all sides of a situation. On top of that, I'm a spiritual seer and a psychologist. I study human behavior. All I am pointing out and highlighting is the cause and effect of situations that we choose in life and how fast shit can change in a blink of an eye. We already knew the nature of the man. We knew he was a woman beater. We knew he was an abuser. We knew he was violent. We knew he was emotional. We knew all of this bad shit about him. It was bad when he did it the first time. It was bad when he did it the second time. It was bad when he did it the third time. It was bad when he did it the fourth time. It was bad when he did it the fifth time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's going on right now? What exactly is happening right now? Am I the only one who said it was bad when he did it the first time and said, yep, okay, all right, so we should stop, right? And then she said it was bad when it happened the second time, and I'm like, ooh, okay, all right, hold on now. Wait, so she and he kept on. So he just kept on. And then it was bad when he did it. Because she said earlier, he wasn't a bad man. Okay, I'm not judging the guy. I don't know the guy. All I know is that by the time she got to the third, it was bad when he did it. I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, what are we doing? But then she went to the fourth. And then at that point, I'm like, what are we doing right now? Was this one of those? And then she gets to number 5, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry, am I the only one that's peeping this right now? And that's how deeply ran in the roots of abuse can be. Now, when it comes to Sister Girl, we already know her whole MO was, you know what I'm saying, and rest in peace to her.
I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Same children.
Now, we get that. I'm with you. I got you. But it's still a woman. And we all know how that factor goes. It don't matter if she was bigger than him or not, because that is what Sis was saying earlier, as if like that's an all the way factor. It is still a grown ass man, in full effect. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. So when I'm hearing the first time, because on my first video I did, all right, on part 1, all right, you guys can check out part 1 if you didn't see it on this whole thing that I did just on my review. And again, shout out to Mickey Truth. Shout out to Mickey Truth. Go over there and support Sis. Make sure you go over there and get up with the queen of paperwork. Let's get it. On the first video, the main premise that I was riding on was like, bruh, hold on. Why you keep putting up with all of this? And this is something that I'm speaking to the men right now, primarily. Like, when it comes to certain circumstances, like, look, I do recognize the factor. And ladies, you know what I'm saying? If it does apply, then let it fly. If it does. I'm talking about let it fly into your heart. Okay, girl? When it comes to trying to not make something work, because you can't make it work. It either works or it doesn't. But when it comes to putting in the full forth effort to see if something can work, right? A lot of times that is something that must be on an equal 2-part basis. Okay. It must be on an equally 2-part basis. All right. So both parties gotta be like on some kind of balanced level. Fellas, if you know that your woman is very, very chattery and she's the type she'll get real mouthy with you, then you really gotta like truly, if you're gonna be with her, considering, bro, you need to learn how to be that balance. What is the balance? You can't be so chattery. Don't be extra mouthy right along with her and the whole house is just up in verbal flames all the time. That's not going to be conducive. It won't work. And eventually she's not going to respect you as a man, because she's going to then start to see you as sis and him. That's right. That's right. She is then going to start looking at you as sis and him, because you keep bringing the same energy to her that she gets with sis and him. And that's when we need to learn how to make sure that we know how to keep a balance with these things. That's all. Now, whatever your relationship is, that's all going to fall unique. It's all going to fall in its own customized sequence. Why? Because that's what it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be, every individual relationship is supposed to be its own unique facet. You can get a reference or two or something from people, right? But every relationship is supposed to be in its own customized design, tailored, just fitted for those two individuals, or the 3 or 4, considering this is 2025. A lot of y'all like to be nasty. But anyway, let's go.
This was a repeated occurrence for them. Like this was nothing new. That's why I said what I said. I don't think that he merely just watched spiritual warfare, love spells, and witchcraft play out in real time. That's it. If you did not watch all 3 of those lives yourself, if you don't know the people and if you don't know the story of what's going on, your comments are not valid. We are speaking on real life. Y'all getting y'all feelings because somebody is not here anymore. I watched my grandmother take her last breath in front of me. So how y'all feel about that type of stuff? I don't feel that way about that type of stuff. I'm not finna get all in my feelings and come over here playing no woe is me card about a situation that could have been prevented. I see kids that really need help out here. For people that are really struggling. Y'all make a mockery out of mental health until mental health is in the room with us. And then it's, oh my God. Stop always thinking shit is a game, bro. All that.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Stop thinking everything is a game. All right. Cool beans. What I don't get is how many more examples do we need as people before we recognize? You need to tell somebody that you love them before they're gone. You need to go ahead and have the tough discussions while the relationship is still intact in some form. You need to go ahead and maybe tell your best friend, hey, let's shut down the live. You may want to tell your brother, hey, shut down the live. Okay, now. So when I hear these things, it's like, all right, I'm gonna put it to you like this. You know what really has made me callous to a degree? Watch this. What made me callous for the most part at this point in my life is the simple fact of I am beyond sick of us coming out and we are so strong after the storm hits, but we don't do a damn thing to prepare for the storm coming. I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody heard what I just said, but I will repeat myself on this one. I'm so sick of us knowing how to go ahead and do everything needed for after the storm hits. We got all the passion in the world after the storm hits, but we don't do a damn thing to prepare before the storm comes. I'm being honest, like, because looking at like a lot of what took place, how long it was documented, and I'm only saying it, as like that portion, that piece, because y'all know me. I'm always going to be the one that's going to take that cross and turn it into a star because I hit life from different angles. I'm not going to give you the stereotypical, just, he was wrong, she was wrong. I'm looking at unchecked mental health, unresolved issues that should have been handled much more on the back end in a quieter sense. Why? Because it was placed in front of the world and a whole bunch of people that clear as day have shown us time and time again, don't nobody really give two shits about what you're going through except those few close people in your circle in life. Nobody else cares, bro. To everybody else, it's just entertainment. Why don't we get that? Please, somebody help me.
God have mercy upon us.
Let's get back to the video.
Oh, pick me. Pick by who? I been chose. I been chose my whole life. Pick by who? This is just some real life shit that people don't be wanting to talk about.
So yeah. Yeah, and she does promos too. But look, right? So I want us to really think about that. Like when it comes to what you put out there in the world. Y'all just don't get it, dog. Listen, if you do not recognize how deep the internet, and when it comes to like it being dysfunctional, how deeply dysfunctional the internet is. It's a wonderful place. I'm here with you right now. I'm trying my best to be a little small part of that portion of, you know what I'm saying? We have our fun, but you know what I'm saying? We at the same time know life is real. I get it. I don't know how in the world that moves. Okay, let's put that there. So my point is to land it out for us. We need to make sure that we recognize that the internet is an illusion all in itself. It's the most touchable form of illusion. Why? Because people really get touched over internet beef. We've seen it multiple times. The fact is, it's on documentation. It's, look, don't you say the internet is lasting forever? Cool. I myself, I like to observe it. And I like to do the best that I can to learn from it, because once I figured out that we've gotten to the point where like this is normal.
And I don't give a fuck, and that's what it is. Everybody getting shot. If you was working in there that day, you getting shot. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. So you could keep, like I said, keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me.
And these are things that, I mean, you know, stuff people say on the internet every day. Okay. All right. It's so many examples of things people say on the internet every day.
Because I hate you coward ass niggas. You a punk ass nigga.
I see it and I hear it all the time. Okay, love. I got you. Okay. So I just want us to keep in mind that we need to remember that it's always going to be something that will play a factor into how real we see the internet and how fake we see it. Now, I'm going to tell you the factor that plays into my mind before we cut loose up out of chair. You smell me now? Y'all keep on saying the internet is not real. Then what or who are you who said it while on the internet?
My mic is muted.
I digress. My mic is muted.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season.